getting good with handling disappointment. Jim Rohn says, discipline your disappointment. To me, that was a very tough thing. The reason that I would get on the escalator for 3 or 4 months and be really excited and then fall off and disappear and take breaks is because I was not good at disciplining my disappointment. I wanted this business to go faster than it was going to go because I didn't understand that people need to watch me for a while. That's just kind of how it works. I didn't understand that. So when they weren't joining as fast as I wanted, I'd get disappointed, and then I'd stop, and they'd see that I stopped, and then they wouldn't join, shooting myself in the foot. So when someone tells you no, when coaches quit on you, when your business isn't growing as fast as you want, you just got to understand that that's part of the journey, and you got to be able to discipline your disappointment. And what that means to me is you stay disciplined when you're disappointed, because you're going to have a lot of disappointment along the way. You're going to have months where it's slow and it seems like no one's interested. You're going to have months like that. You're going to have periods. But I guarantee you, if you stay consistent with those little things, you stay disciplined, those cold spells, they always go away. They always go away. But most coaches never let themselves, they don't stay disciplined enough to get through those cold spells. And they just start doubting everything, and then they take more breaks, and the discipline goes out the window, and next thing you know, that escalator that they were almost halfway up there has taken them back down to the bottom. And then they got to get back on. Like what I did was I kept doing that myself over and over. And I saw people get on that escalator, stay consistent for a full year and blow this thing out of the water. And I just got pissed at myself. And the regret became stronger than that discipline that I needed to just stay consistent, to show people that I was serious about this. And that this thing was real. And I all of a sudden wasn't desperate for people to join my team. If you're desperate for people to do your challenge groups and you're desperate for people to join your team, like, people can smell that desperateness. It oozes out of you. Like, you just got to have, like, I'm doing this. I'm doing personal development. I'm doing the workouts. I'm drinking Shakeology. I'm eating right because I want to be a badass and I want to feel good and I want to kick ass. And I'm doing that for me, and I'm doing it with or without you. And if you want to be a part of that, great. And if you don't, great. But I'm doing this because I love this stuff, because I'm a badass. I want to feel more like a badass. And I stopped being desperate for people to join me. I just was doing it for me. And I was like, I'm doing it. And you know what? I know other people want to do this with me. I know other people want to get on that same journey. And I know that there's going to be people that want to inspire others to get on that journey. And I know I'm going to bump into those people along the way. And if you're one of them, great. And if you're not, that's okay. But I'm sticking with this thing because I want to be a badass. But yeah, so that's that would be the other thing. Just be able to discipline your disappointment. Have that knowingness in your gut that this success is inevitable with this thing. As long as you stay consistent, as long as you're growing yourself, as long as you're staying consistent with your journey, you're doing those 5 skills, you're going to bump into the right people. If you share a good idea long enough, it's going to land on good people. And just know that in your gut. You don't have to be desperate for people. Don't feel like you have to drag people along. The best way to motivate your coaches that aren't doing anything is to be successful without them. If you try to drag them along, all you're going to show them is that in order for them to be successful, they have to drag people along, and that's going to turn them off. If you want to motivate someone, if you want to light a fire under someone's ass, be successful without them and leave them behind. And that'll show you if this is really a good fit for them or not. If it is, they're going to get their butt in gear and catch up with you. If it's not a good fit, then they might not. But if you try to, and maybe they come around like a year later, but if you try to pull them along, you're going to just completely show them that this is not what it really is. You're going to show them that this is something you got to pull people along, and they're never going to ever get involved. You're doing them a disservice. You think you're helping them by pulling them and doing all that, but you're really not. Just focus on the people that want to do this with you, and focus on yourself. If you don't have anyone that wants to do this with you right now, focus on your own journey. Be a badass. Work on being a bigger badass, and people are going to start to want to be a part of that, the right people. If you post stuff that you're afraid other people aren't going to like, if they don't like it, that's not who you're posting to. So don't worry what they think. You're posting to people that get inspired by that stuff. The people that don't like it, who cares? You're not posting for them. They can unfriend you. Right? All right. I'm done. I'll get off my soapbox. You guys have any questions?
You're a badass.
A lot of personal development.
Seriously. No, I mean,
awesome. Like,
yeah.
so awesome. Like, I couldn't have said it better myself. I told Chris, you should better get this video as soon as possible. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I loved it so much, and it was so right on that I'm gonna put it in all of our Coach Basics, and they're gonna have to watch this video as one of their first videos.
Oh man, poor people.
No, yeah. Really, I really appreciate you. I mean, it's amazing. It's really, you're a remarkable leader. I really appreciate you for sharing all this information with us.
Yeah. Yeah. And just remember that when I told you that when I first was asked to get on a team call, I didn't because I was afraid I'd forget my name. So that's the growing process. That's the journey, you know, like, and I still have days where like I doubt myself. And when I do, if I'm afraid or if I'm doubting myself, I go, you're in your head, you're worried about what other people think, you're worried about how you're coming off to people. Come from your heart, worry about how you can help others. And it helps. It's not like an easy thing to do like overnight because we're so conditioned to be in our head and worry about ourselves and what other people think and how we come off to the world. But the more you condition yourself to just sense that fear and realize, okay, here I'm doing it again. I'm not coming from my heart. I'm not leading with service to others. I'm thinking about myself and what other people think. The more you like acknowledge that fear and just start making that shift more, the more you get out of your own head, and the easier it is to, you know, do these kind of calls and interact with your people that are interested in your challenge groups, and interact with your challengers, interact with your coaches, and all that stuff. But yeah, I still struggle with that fear and that doubt and you know, all that stuff. And that's why personal development is to me the most vital behavior, and it's why it's the first thing I do when I wake up.